What is up, YouTube? I'm Devon DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance Crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Today I'm going to be getting into some more Bill Burr. This is a segment on Bill Burr's, the hell? There's like a picture inside of a picture on my computer. But there is, if you guys don't know, Bill Burr has a podcast that he does every Monday morning. It's called Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast, for obvious reasons. In which case he'll talk about random subjects and things that are on his mind. Sometimes he has his wife Mia appear as well, and they'll go ahead and talk about something. And sometimes it's funny when they find something that they have different beliefs in, because they kind of go at each other, and it can be really entertaining. And one thing I thought I'd go ahead and watch is Bill Burr's segment on flat earthers. Now, I don't normally like to quote unquote pick on a specific subject, but there are some things that I kind of put my foot down and, don't really play at all when it comes to certain subjects. So like flat earth, anti-vaxxers, people that think Nazis are good, that doesn't fly with me. I do not like. I'm going to have a debate about just about everything, but when it comes to stuff like this, things that are like verifiably true, then for me there's really no debate. And I personally blame the internet for all of this, because it wasn't until but it's like people have this idea that just because something is on TV it's true. And I think that the internet is kind of just an extension of that. People see stuff on the internet, they just assume, oh well, it must be true, somebody made it. And this tends to come from things like memes or videos or self-made documentaries or anything like that. People just automatically just assume that it's true just because somebody on the internet said it or someone on TV said it, without actually looking into the actual facts of it. And I think part of it has to do with ego. People don't want to admit when they're wrong. It also goes down to people wanting to be contrarians and edgy and want to have like a counter idea of what the norm is. So they're more inclined to believe stuff that is against what is already commonly accepted as a belief. So that goes with conspiracy theories, that goes with these types of ideas, and they tend to fly faster when people just like create their own little communities and really just create like these echo chambers where they can just agree with each other and reinforce the idea that what they believe is right. And it gets to a point where they're so far down the rabbit hole that like they just cannot be reasoned with, no matter how strong the evidence is against what they believe. They still believe what they believe, because at this point they think that you're part of the conspiracy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this and see what Bill Burr's impressions are of it. Because Bill Burr is somebody I tend to respect when it comes to his opinion. Sometimes a lot of times I agree with him, sometimes I don't agree with him. But at the end of the day, I always respect what he has to say. Let's go ahead and check this out.
What? I don't understand how this made a comeback. I really feel like this is just people trolling. I just can't imagine that this is an actual thing.
I think some people
God
troll.
knows I'm not a fucking smart
and some
guy,
people are stupid enough to believe him.
People are going to sit here and act as though this is actually a thing. How did this start? Friend is a flat earther. Hey, Billy, global tits. That's the best one in a while. I'm a 28-year-old living in New York. One of my best friends is a flat earther. Not only him, but his girlfriend as well.
The echo chamber.
They fuck missionary
like I said.
style. What do they call it? Earth style. I've known them for over 5 years. So recently I sent him a cool video of 2 space, is that X or 10 rockets vertically landing. I would expect his normal reaction like, oh, that's so cool. It's amazing what people can do nowadays. But instead of that, he started talking about how we've been lied to the whole time. That all the space program, ISIS, and all of that is a global hoax. Oh, man, he went way down the rabbit hole. I started down that road, and I headed back. So I thought he was joking, and I are you a flat earther? And he responded, do research, bro. Okay.
In other words, do research that already believes that flat Earth is real.
You know something? I'm going to take this guy's advice, and I'm going to do a little research here.
Yep. See, I'm going to go back a second. See, the problem is people, they come to conclusions first, and then they try to find evidence that fits into that conclusion. That's not how you find truth. Truth is what it is, regardless of whether or not you want it to be real or not. So what you're supposed to do is go out and actually find evidence, and then you find the other side that can sort of cross-examine that evidence and see if it can withstand criticism. And if it does, then that is the best argument that you have as of right now. Until some new stuff comes out, it's okay to believe that. If you, like, when it comes to research, try to think of it like a court case. Like, something is claimed, you hear the side that supports it, and then you go and check out the side that critiques that point. And whichever side tends to be one that stands is the one that you can believe until some new stuff comes up, and you can try to hold it against that as well.
Flat Earth evidence. I can't imagine with the advertising I'm going to get now. Sell me a hazmat suit in a fucking shelter. Flat Earth.
A lot of
Frequently
canned
asked
food.
Questions. What evidence do you have? 10 easiest way you can tell for yourself the Earth is not flat. This is evidence. This is what proves the evidence. Like all these smarmy people taking all this time. Like, can you imagine? Like, if you know the world's fucking round, right? You've been in a plane. You looked at it. You've seen it. Flat, or maybe they're just fucking nearsighted people. They can't see the roundness of the Earth when they get up at 37,000 feet. Flat Earth. The flat Earth model is an architect concept.
The flat Earth
The flat
conspiracy
Earth explained
was created by people that make glasses.
Okay, and the weirdest part isn't just that he believes the Earth is flat. I can't find anybody that says 7 ways to prove the Earth is round. Oh, you know what? Because I'm on page 1. Why the Earth is actually 100% flat. Okay, hang on a second. Is this the one? You know, I got to hit pause because I want to read these 6. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. All right, I just found a guy. He goes, you know, before you guys say I'm a moron, I was on the math team, and I won a jury trial, which are very difficult to win. And I used to think that the world was round until I met my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, 40 years ago. It's like, okay.
Damn.
All right, I'm out. Tapping out. God bless you. God bless you. God bless all the flat earthers.
Being somebody that
so what
is
do they
book
think?
smart
They think the Earth is round, but
and
flat,
being
but the moon is round.
Critically, like being able
How
to
does the
critically
water
think
not run off the ends?
and being able to critically. Oh, let me go ahead and restart that. Somebody who is book smart and somebody who's able to critically think are not always. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't always go together. Just because somebody's book smart doesn't always mean they can critically think for themselves. Like I said, I've said that before. I think the tools for actual like critical thinking should be something that's taught in school. Like it would save so many people from arguments with some of the dumbest ideas and conceptions if we just taught people how to critically think.
Run off the ends.
He said, how does water not run off the ends? I think flat earthers believe there's like a wall around the world.
I've done it. I did a gig. I flew from L.A. to Australia. Then I did Australia to fucking New Zealand. And then I went to Singapore. Then I went to China. Then I went to India. Then I went to New York. I connected in Dubai. We kept flying that fucking other way. Granted, I didn't have a compass. He could have done a big, slow fucking... Are all the pilots in on it?
That's what they think. All the pilots, all the scientists, NASA,
you know. I mean,
all the governments.
I don't know where the fuck I'm going. You know, that'd be really easy to fake you out in a plane. You know, just a few times when I try to do a little bit of instrument training in the helicopter, and they have you close your eyes and they just start doing shit. And you have no fucking idea what's going on. And I got to you know, if you're sitting in the back of a plane, you're just looking out the side of it, you don't know what's going on. Hey, man, you know what? Maybe it is flat, man. I don't know. I just, Jesus Christ. This guy found Jesus, and the result of it was he thinks the fucking world is flat. Okay, anyways, I've known them for over 5 years. Let's just get back to this fucking
Maybe
thing.
his idea of the world is
So
pushed
he said,
back
"Do
to
your
when
research,
Jesus was
bro."
alive.
The same day I called him and his girlfriend over to my house. All right. Well, I just looked at a guy who said he was a mathlete, and he believes the world is flat. You believe it's round, and you just wrote a fragment. So right now, the flat earthers are winning. The same day I called him and his girlfriend over to my house, period. Anyways, I'm going to tell you, old Freckles, I had much fun arguing with them. But his response was, I knew you were going to make fun of us, not take us seriously. I didn't mean to tell you. It just slipped out of my mouth. Next time, I'll be cautious. Now, this is very unusual behavior for him. He never had been so sensitive and cautious on any level. His biggest argument is that it's written in the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah that the earth is flat. God laid the earth beneath our feet like a carpet for us to walk on. Well, he could still do that, and it could be round.
Yeah.
It's the old gravity thing, right? I respect religion.
I mean,
but
there are carpets, and the world is
like
round.
a comedy, I cannot take it literally. It's all written in poetic manner, right? It's been almost a week, and I'm arguing with him only about this topic. My question is Flat Earther the new gay? Should I close this topic and accept his new enlightened perspectives?
No. No.
Or should I be worried about continuing to throw scientific facts at them? Is that what you do with gay people? Look, you both have vaginas. Okay? You can't penetrate one another. How much more scientific fact do you need that the two of you lesbians should have a threesome with me? Anyways, I don't want to escalate this thing to the breaking point, but it feels like they're in some cult, and since they are my friends, I care. I listen regularly to your podcast.
Those two things are the same.
Kazakhstan. Oh, all right. All right, so I'll forgive the fragments here. And this is my first time writing. Sorry for my English. Your English was great. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. I don't know how things work in Kazakhstan, but over here in the good old United States of America, your friendship with them has hit a serious snag in the road. So, I mean, you can continue to be friends with somebody that thinks the world is flat. Just don't bring it up. It's like religion. You know, there's a bunch. I mean, I'm not into it, but I don't know how many people. I mean, I hung out with people. Scientologists seem to be like the only people around my age that still fucking practice their religion. They don't fucking bug me. I just don't bring up religion. I'm not gonna fucking bombard them with my stupid opinions, my unresearched opinions. Who gives a fuck? You know what the funny thing is the only reason why you and I know that the earth is fucking round is because of other human beings that had the balls to fucking get in a goddamn boat and start sailing off into it. So I can't only make fun of these people so much, okay? You're talking about somebody who...
All right, I'm gonna get back in this last minute, but it, yeah, like, are we just going to start questioning people that have more expertise and have actually tried stuff out? Like, does that work in other areas? This zoologist told me that lions will attack you if you go into their territory. I don't believe them. I think it's a conspiracy. I'm going to go and hug this lion. Scientists have told me that, you know, the ocean is a lot deeper than we think. I've never seen the bottom of the ocean, but I've never been to the ocean. I'm not going to believe them. I think the ocean is as deep as the pool that's, you know, sitting in the middle of our apartment complex. So I'm going to go ahead and swim this 12-foot ocean and see, you know, how far I can make it down. Oh, and you're gone. What else would that work in? Something that you've never, as a human, actually experienced, but people have just told you about it. I It could be how the inside of, for me, it could be how the inside of video games work, because I've never actually opened a system, so I don't know exactly how it looks. So I'm just going to assume that there's some type of miniature people inside making the games work. And I'm just going to start questioning everything. Anything I haven't actually physically seen, I'm just going to assume. I don't know what the inside of this monitor looks like, so as of right now, I'm believing that Bill Burr is inside my video making, or inside my monitor making a weird face at me. I don't know. That's my opinion. It's based on facts. I see Bill Burr's face. I hear him talking. Obviously, he's in my monitor.
About somebody who took his daughter, a 2-year-old, to a fucking Tim Burton movie. So, I mean, how much far away am I from someone who thinks the fucking world is flat? But having said that, I feel like you're eventually going to slowly back away from these two people if they continue down that road. Yeah. I would also get nervous that, you know, people were going to make fun of them to the point that they become angry people, and then all of a sudden, you're the person that they take their anger out on. These are just concerns that I have. All right. Boyfriend wants to become a comedian. And by the way, thanks for listening to the podcast way over there. Don't you guys have a race over there? One of the F1 races over there? One of those K countries. Boyfriend wants to become a comedian. Hey, Billy Bald Eagle. My boyfriend of almost 2 years told me.
I think that's the end of it.
When we start.
Yeah, that's the end of it. Yeah, like I said, we need to start teaching critical thinking in school. That's how you get to at least the reasonable truth. Because the truth is, unless you actually go and experience it, you probably won't know the full truth. But you can pretty much come up with a good idea just based on reasonable arguments and things like that. We need to start teaching people about fallacies and different reliable methods to get to the truth. We need to, I was about to say we need to start punishing really stupid thoughts, but that would just backfire, because that would probably reinforce their idea that there's some conspiracy. You can't keep people from, you know, coming up with these weird ass conspiracy theories as if you're the parents on Elm Street trying to keep your kids from thinking about Freddy Krueger or some shit. It makes me feel like I'm losing more faith in humanity than I already have lost when I come across people that just say stupid things. And I guess personally I have to come up to, with the idea, or not come up with the idea, but I need to accept the idea that people can change. People can be enlightened to certain things. I think the thing that would probably be the best first step that could help get people away from these types of conspiracies is to accept that I don't know is a valid answer. People assume that by saying I don't know, you are like admitting defeat or something like that. Whereas I see I don't know as to be continued. We don't know the answer now, but that doesn't mean we might not know it in the future. Like, we didn't know how electricity worked at one point. We didn't know how the human body worked at one point. We didn't know what made humans sick and what made humans healthy. We discovered it over time. It's okay to say, I don't know. You don't have to put in some weird variable or some weird conclusion and say, okay, well, this automatically, this is what the truth is right here. And you don't really know if that's it or not. And then later on, because you've put in that little placeholder, some people have come to the conclusion that that placeholder is actually true. And now you have to break down that foundation that you've put in with that placeholder and then try to reestablish the actual truth that we know as of right now. Like, people have a problem with like science, and they think, oh, well, science has changed its mind millions of times in the past, so how do you believe in science, or how do you think science knows the truth? Well, the actual truth is science doesn't really know. Science is just the best, most reliable answer at the time. Science will admit when it's wrong. Science is encouraged to find faults in what it believes. That's the reason why we have peer-reviewed journals and things like that. Like, we're constantly testing and seeing whether or not this sticks. And if something comes through and we find out it doesn't, science will change what it thinks. I'm sure there are millions of you that like will read articles on Yahoo or whatever types of places that collects articles have, and every once in a while you'll see something from a scientist about how eggs are bad for you, and then later on they'll tell you eggs are good for you, then they'll tell you eggs are bad for you. And I'm sure you've read like articles where they talk about dinosaurs having feathers, and then they don't have feathers and now they have feathers. Like, science never says that this is the 100% undeniable truth. It's usually just this is what we believe at the time. For anyone that wants to go even further back than that and say science believed that the earth was flat at one point, no, science did not. Religion believed the earth was flat, and religion were the ones enforcing the sciences. Matter of fact, if there were scientists that spoke differently or outside of religion, they would usually get killed. I mean, that's like when people thought that the universe revolved around the earth, and then when somebody came out and said that actually the solar system or whatever revolves around our sun, that person was killed. I forgot the name of the scientist that said that. I know it wasn't Galileo. Galileo was a explorer, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I think Galileo was an explorer. What was the name of the scientist that believed that, or that first said that the sun was the center of the universe or the solar system, and they killed him over it? I forgot his name. Leave it in the comment section. I will have to look it up if I can remember to look it up, because sometimes by the time I get finished recording, I forget what I was supposed to be looking up. But anyway, that's been this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You don't have to remind me about Galileo if he was an explorer or not, because I will look it up and I will know the answer by the time you leave it down there. But that's my opinion about everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. But until then, I'm going to give you the deuces. I'm signing out. I'm Devon DaVinci. You just been enlightened. Deuces.